Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about 5 projects that I personally am very excited about long term around crypto, also even in the short term. Now, yes, these are not 5 of my top holdings, for example, like these are not my top 5. But these are 5 that I'm very excited about. Now, full transparency before we even jump into this video, because I know that there's going to be a lot of you commenting on this video saying, Nick, where's HBAR? Where's QNT? Where's XRP? Where's this? These are 5 assets that I personally think are very bullish around a few different narratives. These are very unique projects. Now, yes, a few of them you've probably already heard about on my channel, but I'm going to give you guys specific reasons why I believe that these are going to be top projects going forward and why they could ultimately usher into the top 10 to possibly top 15. So let's start off with the first one, which is obviously going to be Casper. So Casper, full transparency, is my number 1 holding. It has been my number 1 holding for a while now, and I have been accumulating this thing since going all the way back to around roughly the end of 2021. I continue to accumulate this token and continue to even stake it as well, because I do think that long term Casper could ultimately usher into a possible $1 to $3 plus range, with a high of possibly going into $5 plus. Now, the interesting thing about Casper is that yes, it doesn't have a max supply. It has an 8% year over year, but as I've said, yes, I am staking my Casper. I'm earning roughly 6% on my Casper holdings, which is very large if you are holding 6-figure plus Casper bags. Now, also, the market cap for Casper allows it to actually increase greatly in value and compete with some of the top tier projects out there. I've always compared it to ADA, with ADA's market cap hitting almost $100 billion during the last major cycle. And if we did see Casper hit around that range, it would be trading anywhere between like $7 to $9 for Casper, which is very interesting. Now, the bullish narratives around this. So Casper 2.0 is coming soon. We are still waiting on that. The IPv patent deployment as well, which is well into the billions of dollars, $7 to $10 billion, I believe that they said, and it's going to be happening over time. But still, as we do look at the market cap for Casper, and we actually think about $7 to $10 trillion or billion dollars, this could ultimately be very large, not only for the market cap of Casper, but for also the price itself and utility. I'm very excited for IPv to go live with that, or at least start rolling them out. We also have exchange listings. Casper is not listed on major exchanges. It's still not listed on Coinbase. It's still not listed on Binance, etc. So this has a lot of opportunity out there in terms of listing potential. Also, NDA partnership announcements. I personally think that there's a lot of NDA partnerships out there around Casper that have yet to actually be fully announced, and we are waiting for those to actually go live. Very similar to Hedera, I believe that there's a lot of NDAs in place because these are enterprise grade focused projects, and I even do see or say enterprise focused project to go live with, again, a star next to it, because as we do look at these, like, we're still waiting for a lot of those enterprise grade projects to go fully live. Now, my second one is going to have to be AlfZero. This thing has not really moved into a top position. Still trading under $400 million in market cap. We recently just seen meme coins hit in that market cap, which is ridiculous. But as we look at the supply for this thing, yes, this thing does also have an inflation to it. But this one is a little bit different. It would actually take well over almost a decade for AlfZero to actually increase its supply by 2 times. And also, as we do look at this thing, you could stake AlfZero, but also it's under a $400 million market cap, and this thing has a lot of bullish narratives tied to it. For example, over here we do see privacy coin, huge right now due to CBDCs, ecosystem expansion through funding, exchange listings, enterprise focused as well. But also outside of that, as we actually look at AlfZero a little bit more, so we have seen this team constantly building. They do have a lot of these major funds going to allocate for the fuel for Web3 deployment and adoption. But also look at all of the categories around this thing in terms of the blog posts and updates around development. Like AlfZero is non-stop, which I very so love to see out of any project that I'm investing into. But also, as we look at the holders, there's sub 60,000 holders for AlfZero, which is, again, very, very bullish because this shows that we are still very early on AlfZero. But also the ecosystem and the partners. So we're still waiting on a lot of these to go fully live, but I'm very excited to see this continuing to expand. It's been a while since we've talked about AlfZero on this channel, but as we do look up here and we actually go to a few of these, so DeFi will be the one that I'm going to choose first because DeFi is very large in my opinion and it's crucial for a lot of success. We do see that there's currently speaking 4 DeFi offerings on AlfZero, which is pretty cool. And you could see all of these by just going over here and clicking like decentralized exchange or NFTs, etc. But the ecosystem continues to expand for AlfZero, which I'm very bullish on. Next is Oasis Network Rose. So this is one that I recently started to accumulate quite a bit back in January. I think that this thing is going to be a monster of an asset going forward on in time. A few things that I personally love to see around Rose is that it is focused on AI and data. Now, to most people, they think that the AI trend is dead, but in fact, it is probably just beginning. I think that AI and data itself are crucial, very large as well in terms of the narrative that they do play. And as we do see, this thing is still under $1 billion in market cap, 10 billion total supply. Very low supply compared to some of the larger ones out there, like I've said. And here are the bullish narratives. AI and big data, trend is still very strong. Built around privacy, huge narrative. Host tons of incredible apps, or dApps if you will. Major launches coming this year on their roadmap. If you guys do want to go check that out, you guys are more than welcome to. And then ecosystem expansion through funding. And yeah, this one is, I'm very excited about this one, especially because their website is very clean. I love how crisp everything looks. And it is centered on privacy first, but it also has that scalability and versatility tied to it. And there's so many major apps built out on Oasis, which I'm very excited about as well. Now, going forward on, as we do look at the next one is Filecoin. So Filecoin has been one that I've also been accumulating roughly around the January-December timeframe. As we look at this thing, one, supply, personally love it. I know a lot of people are going to bring up the inflation aspect around Filecoin, and yes, I do think that the inflation is a little rough, but I do think that the use case is still very, very strong around Filecoin. This thing's still sitting under roughly a $2.5 billion market cap. It's not as early as the other ones, but I still think that it will gain quite a bit of traction. The bullish narratives around this one are very similar to Rose, but we do see decentralized storage. Filecoin EVM just launched. Recently hosted major community events. You guys know me. I love community engagement and building and growth. Regulation focused to be compliant. We recently seen them talking about regulations and regulatory concerns within the US, and then we do see earned by providing storage as well, which is a very crucial narrative because it allows individuals to actually earn while providing strategic things like storage. And last but not least, the graph. So the graph, you guys probably know me. I've been talking about the graph for a while on this channel. I'm actually very, very bullish on the graph. In fact, this is like one of my larger holdings, and recently it did gain that title. As we look at this thing, yes, the tokenomics, again, no max supply, but the tokenomics are not too bad. I know that we've seen a major release of the tokens during the summer of 2021, but this was expected. As we look at the graph, currently sitting under roughly $1.5 billion in market cap, I do think that this thing is primed for the next major leg up when we do get it. The reason for this is because I believe that the graph is playing directly into the narratives as Oasis or Rose. And what are those narratives? What we do see over here, bullish narrative, decentralized data. Data is crucial. It is huge. AI and data trends still strong. Web3 focus, crucial for Web3, which I'll get back to. Constantly expanding, grant offering for expansion as well, and now scaling on Arbitrum. So yes, the graph is fully scalable. But going back to those initial statements there, how it's crucial for Web3 and decentralized data and AI and big data, Well, ultimately, when we look at Web3, we know that data is a big deal, especially around NFTs and so much other, things around the space. As we look at that, data is becoming a crucial piece of the puzzle. But how can we really have data that is decentralized and not controlled by a single entity? Well, that's what the graph is doing. They're providing that data source that could also help a lot of projects build and grow and ultimately reach their full potential. And I think that the graph is going to play a vital role in all of that. And also with its now scaling on Arbitrum and with their expansion as of recent, I do think that this one is going to surprise a lot of people. And ultimately, I could see this going to well over $2 plus. I mean, we know that this thing topped out roughly around $2.30 in the last run. I could see this thing going to roughly $2 to $4 plus, maybe even more, depending on how much hype it actually gets. But I do think that the AI and big data narrative is going to play a vital role in the graph. But I do love their overall product. I love their website. I love everything about this project, and I loved it ever since day one when I first stepped into it, which was back in 2020. It was one of my bigger winners in 2021. Now, remember, I didn't get a lot of time to actually buy in 2020. It launched roughly around like the end of December on Binance and some other larger exchanges. But for that most part, we did see quick gains very fast, and this was one of my bigger winners. So with that in mind, I hope that kind of clarifies my top 5, or at least, 5 that I'm really looking into and I'm really interested in currently speaking, not only from the chart perspective, but also from the utility perspective and what these coins really do. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. As always, up to you all, have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.